It's another defeat in the Premier League for West Ham. A really frustrating one as well. Brentford 2, West Ham nil. Not not overly surprised. I did in the prediction before the in the preview to the match, and I said then that I predicted 1-1, but I said that was really with my heart more than my head. I was expecting a defeat. I didn't think we were going to get a result. I was actually very pleased with the lineup. I tweeted about that. I did feel that Moyes got it spot on, exactly what we needed to do in terms of the personnel that he selected to start the game. We needed to rotate. We needed to rest our key players. I will come to that a little bit in a minute, though, in terms of the substitutions. But I've got to be honest, these players really frustrate me, these second string players, because, you know, you're given a good opportunity here. David Moyes is looked towards you to say, look, yeah, this is your time to show the manager I should be starting on Thursday. I appreciate some players know that they're not going to be, whether they play well or not. I think that our first team kind of picks itself a little bit at the moment. There's not many players you'd want to take out in terms of our best 11. But nevertheless, that still doesn't excuse some of these players' performances. And I'm actually just getting a bit... These performances would wind me up, actually. I look to some of these players and think, well, what's the plan in here? Do you want to be here or not? Like, if you're going to show up and play these games, you've got to show the manager that you're up for it. You've got to show the fans that you're up for it. And you want to remind everyone, don't you? You want to say to, like, where's the likes of Lanzini, Fornals? I want to see these players that get a hold of these games and show the manager, show the fans that they still care and they want to be a part of things. When they perform badly, you just feel like, you know what? I'd rather just see them go. You know, I don't want to see that. That was a performance that really lacked hunger and any determination. It was just sort of a flat performance, and yeah, really, really frustrating. And I think from the first whistle, I think it's fair to say it always looked like we were going to lose that game. I never really felt we were going to get back into it. I appreciate there was a moment in the game where we possibly could have got back into the game. But ultimately, Brentford, it was an easy win for them. And really frustrating overall. Quickly as well, another thing that it sounds like I'm really moaning. I don't want to be moaning at all this week, really, because we've got a positive week coming up. We want to be up for Thursday night. But obviously, I've got to talk about the game a little bit. The first goal... really poor again from McGurd. I'm actually getting quite concerned about this player. Don't get me wrong, I like him overall. He's talented, we know that. But these mistakes are becoming far too regular for me. It seems to be very much a reoccurring situation with McGurd where he keeps making big mistakes and costing us quite dearly. I mean, even, dare I say it, when you sort of think back to when he started in pre-season, if you remember the ankle injury he got against Rangers, that was down to his mistake. He gave the ball away and had to try and recover it. He's prone to errors. Now, what he's done this time is basically a carbon copy of what he did a few weeks ago, I think, against Crystal Palace. He's passed the ball into no man's land, and we've lost possession and we've gone and scored. It's like he's not learning. You know, you just think to yourself, like, for God's sake, just clear the ball out. Like, stop passing it into a dangerous position. That really frustrated me, and poor goalkeeping as well. But yeah, the Agurd mistake's frustrating because he's not, you know, you did the same thing a few weeks ago. David Moyes alluded to that in his press conference as well for the game. You can see it's really annoyed him. He's really, really angry. And I've got to be honest, I am. Like, you watch it back, you think, well, what are you doing? You know that this doesn't work, what you're trying to achieve. It really frustrates me when you see that, especially for a player of his standards. You know, he's an expensive player. He's highly regarded. Someone that we were talking about on this channel, Dave and Exeter talked about in the channel, that we sort of see him possibly as a future captain for the club. And then he does things like that, and it really sort of makes you think, oh, I'm not sure. You know, these need to be stamped out. I do hope this is kind of like a bedding in season for these mistakes, and then they'll be eradicated, because it does feel like a bit of a running theme of Agurd now that he's prone to an error, and it actually starts making me doubt him. You know, I'm looking at the final. I'm thinking about we'll come to that. We've got a preview coming up on Wednesday, and I've done my sort of predicted my team who I want, and I'm genuinely like I'm worried about Agurd. I do think, do we want to be playing him in the semi-final second leg? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at the moment. That's really sad. Really, I feel that way, but that's because I'm losing my confidence in him. A second goal as well, really, really poor just before half time. That was a little bit early in the game. Then, yeah, second goal for a throw in. Literally simple, basic football. And what I was going to moan about, actually, when I saw that, I thought, what have we been doing all week in training? Why has Moyes not been working on this? Because this is what they score from. Well, actually, Moyes spoke after the game about the second goal in particular and said, we've been working all this week on training on this all week. He said, but you wouldn't have known that. He was absolutely furious, Moyes. And that's annoyed me even more with the players. I'm thinking, you've been working on defending throw-ins all week and you concede from a throw-in. And it was so simple. I mean, it really wasn't. Honestly, really, really, really poor. Disappointing. 2-0 down. Game over, really. And to be honest with you, I know Moyes did make some changes. Now, I'm not overly thrilled with this. I don't really know why he bothered, to be honest. I get it. He's probably thinking, look, I want to add a bit more quality on the pitch. I want to try and get something out of this game. I do get it, because let's be honest, if we've got a point, we'd be safe now, mathematically safe pretty much. So I do understand that. But with the semi-final in mind, I don't want to see Bowen on. I don't want to see Ben Rama and Rice coming on. I don't want to see. It's the risk. It's not the fatigue. It's the risk. I don't want to risk it picking up injuries. But I do understand why he did it. Now, with 20 minutes to go, we had a goal ruled out. It's just another shocking VAR decision. We've just done a video on refereeing standards, and I feel like it's corruption. I don't think this was a corruption. It's just poor, like really shocking decisions. They've ruled it out for a handball on Mabamos. He's gone up to the ball. He's protected himself from the post. The ball's hit the post. He's come back and hit him. For a start, it hits his shoulder. So it's not even a handball as far as I'm concerned. It hits him sort of there. So I don't know how they've ruled it. And also, he can't get out of the way of the ball. He's put his arms up because he's about to crash into the post. I just don't get it. I don't get these decisions. I don't understand the standards as refereeing anymore in this league. And considering the fact that was Michael Oliver, who I regard as a pretty good referee, actually. And I mean, I think he's our sort of main guy, isn't he? You'd think. And for him to get that wrong, it just annoys me. I really hate this sort of this stupid. The ref's got to go and have a look at the screen. It's almost like a bit of theatre now. It's like, oh, he's going to overturn it because he's going to look at the screen. That shouldn't actually be what's required. I think they just got to say, look, can we have a look at that? What do you think? And he should have looked at it, and he should have been stronger, I think, and turned around and said, no, because that wasn't a handball. It just feels like this is a reoccurring theme now. Every week it feels like we're getting overdone by bad decisions. And sometimes they haven't cost us. Look, I don't think Brentford deserved to lose that game or draw it. I think they deserved to win it. So I'm not saying we were robbed, but there is an argument to say, look, if that goal had been stood, the last 20 minutes could have been all West Ham. We could have been really pushing them. I reckon they would have been playing far more defensive and we'd have really pushed them. And who knows, we could have got that point that I was talking about that could have been vital. But look, it is what it is. I'm not overly that down about it. I mean, I think it's fair to say all our attention really is on Thursday. I mean, even when we was playing that game, part of me was just thinking more about Thursday. All I was thinking is I just want to come through the game with no injuries or an embarrassing scoreline, and we got both of those. So I'm not too disappointed. It's more the fact that we've got players who I look towards in those games to go on, show us what you're about now. And one player I do just want to mention about. Well, actually, I'm going to mention a couple. I'm going to mention Pablo Fornals, who I thought was really, really bad. I thought that was another bad performance for him. I'm actually getting a bit tired of Pablo Fornals now. And that's really sad to say because I do like him a lot as a bloke. He seems like a really good guy and loves the club. I mean, he's been, we know he's embraced the East End sort of side of life and really is a proper West Ham, player. And he comes across like a West Ham fan. But you do have to question him now and say, look, Pablo, these are the games you're supposed to show why you should be in the starting 11, and you play that badly again. It just seems to be a bit of. I don't know whether he's going to be on his way out of the club. I don't know. I do struggle to see it now. I do think he'll stay. That's my gut feeling. I think he'll remain next season, but he's fast becoming the Manuel Lanzini for me now. He's just falling down the pecking order, and he's only going to make the odd appearance here and there. He's not cementing himself. He's not giving a message to Moyes that he wants to be a first team player anymore. Considering the fact he was in tears after scoring 4 weeks ago against Bournemouth. You do then look back and think, well, if that's how much you care and you really want to be a part of it, then you've got to start putting some performances in. And unfortunately, he didn't deliver again. It's been a very bad season for Fornals. There's no denying it. And he's obviously nowhere near that first team when it comes on Thursday night. He hasn't done enough, and rightly so. He will not be near it. Another player I want to mention as well. I know obviously I didn't want to moan, but I do have to talk about this. Is Max Cornet. Fast becoming a player that I'm starting to think was a bit of a waste of money, and one that to be honest, I wouldn't be overly surprised if we look to offload this summer. I know he's been injured, so I'll give him that, fair play. I understand he has been injured. He missed a vast majority of the season with this ankle injury. It wasn't an ankle, it was thigh, wasn't it? A thigh injury. But again, another player, prime, like I was talking about 4 These are the games. These are the games where Cornet goes, right, I'm going to show West Ham. I'm going to show this football club, show this manager what I'm about. And he just doesn't do it. He just comes on. He doesn't really look up for it. He's not really doing a lot. It really, frustrating performance from him. And I know some fans will say, well, hang on, they don't really play together a lot. He's probably a bit rusty. I do have a bit of sympathy for that. But let's not forget that David Moyes would have known this team pretty much all week. He would have known that this was the lineup he was going because he was going to rest key players. So I'm sure that the likes of Fornals, Lanzini, Cornets and Downs would have been playing together all week, knowing what they were going to do. So when you see a performance like that, it does wind you up a little bit. I sit there and think, so where's your desire? Where's your drive to be a success of this club? So there's a few players I'm quite annoyed with after that performance. I've got to be honest. But on a positive note, though, I thought Ben Rama was excellent, really, really good again. He's just in really good form all of a sudden, and let's be honest, the perfect time to have someone like Fornals in good form, Ben Rama in good form, because we're going into these games now. In Europe, we've got the second leg of the semi-final and hopefully the final. And you look at these games and you need your performers, you need the creative players, you need the players that are going to make things happen to be in good form. We've got Paqueta obviously playing very well at the moment, and now you've got Ben Rama as well. Obviously, Antonio's in decent form as well. I know he's been injured slightly, but hopefully he should be all right for Thursday. I think that's the case. So I would say that's the only silver lining from that Ben Rama played very well. Annoyed with the referee decision, but it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. But I've got to say, I think that, and this is what the title of the video is, I think that those players really let down the manager there. I think they let the club down, really. I think that was really a poor performance overall, and one that I think we need to get over quickly because, Thursday's going to whip around fast and, everything to play for.